Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Held Dominance, Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you've seen and want to see more. Coming up, the RFL released a statement about clubs not fulfilling fixtures. Salford CEO admits unsustainability of AJ Stadium. And you guessed it, back to St George. Now we're going to have a look at some issues that are coming out of Salford, as they could be out of their stadium, the AJ Bell Stadium, before the start of the 2023 Super League season, and now the club are actively seeking an alternative home just in case. The Red Devils hosted a fans forum on Thursday evening to reveal the options at their disposal following several weeks of speculation regarding the team's home ground. Executive Chairman Paul King addressed several rumours that have been circulating on social media and confirmed the club have not been able to fulfil the rental agreement on the stadium in any of the 10 years they have been based there. King, a lifelong Salford fan, also revealed that he met with Salford City Football Club owner Gary Neville earlier this week, though stressed that any discussion that would see the Red Devils move to Moor Lane are at an embryonic stage. We have had a very nice chat. He's open-minded to help, and he does have a care for the original Red Devils, but he obviously has his own situation that he needs to deal with as well, said King. It's complicated, and it was the first conversation, but I'm sure there will be others. The AJ Bell Stadium is owned and operated by Coscos, a joint venture between the local authority and PLL&P, and the Red Devils co-tenants Sale Sharks have expressed a strong interest in purchasing the stadium. However, the Gallagher Premiership side have insisted that they do not want to make a formal offer unless Salford's future is secured. It's important to stress there are no enemies here, said King. Sale have not made a formal offer or approach because our future is unclear, and they are adamant it needs to be sorted, but they're also wanted to get a move on. The club's current operating rental agreement at the stadium expires at the end of 2023, and the Red Devils would be required to negotiate and be held to any new contract. They currently pay around 1/3 of the $450,000 annual cost for the combined use of the stadium on match days, in season, and for training and office space throughout the year. The shortfall has thus far been underpinned by the local authority, which King says he and the club are uneasy with, regardless of the fact it is unlikely to be feasible in the future. As a club, we need to find our own identity and look after ourselves and stop trying to be a leech on other people, he said. I'm not comfortable as an individual with us having a local authority bail us out when there are children's services, etc. suffering from central cuts. Without wishing to get political, the sooner we can eradicate ourselves from that position, the better. We have potentially a fantastic future, we do. We just need to take a few steps to get there, and if it means we have to play at a lesser stadium for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then that's what we'll do. It'll help us build. So some strong words there from King, and it does look like that he has Salford's best interest at heart, and through that, from forum, and during the lengthy Q&A with fans, King laid out 3 possible future routes for the club: remaining at the AJ Bell, moving to another stadium within Salford, or finding a home outside of the city. King made clear that it was financially unviable for the Salford Red Devils to remain where they are, and voiced his personal opposition to moving outside of Salford, though he would see the project through if it was the only way to save the club. Intentions to launch a community share scheme to transfer the club to fan ownership model was also confirmed, but there are no formal details as of yet as to how that would be operated. So it's an interesting take from one of the owners of a Super League club that they're admitting that the place where they're playing is not financially viable for themselves. They have to pay 1/3 of the costs per year, which they say they can't do. But do they? As soon as it came to mind outside the city, do they want to be like their wandering neighbours, Swinton? Swinton have not had a home since Station Road. A Station Road, permanent home, should I say? They're playing in Sale, which is 10 miles away. It's more than that, actually, but you know what I mean. You have to cross basically the width of the borough of Manchester to get to the home stadium from the town of Swinton. I've got a feeling that if the worst came to the worst and they had to move out of Salford, they'll move to the campus at the Etihad Stadium, the Sports Village there. I call it Sports Village, it's something else, its name's something else. And possibly would merge with the likes of Swinton and maybe another to become Manchester Rugby League. And their home base is the Etihad area, the Etihad campus. That's my view on it. I may be completely wrong, but there's plans ahead for Salford, and they're going to be difficult ones for the fans, the ownership, and everything like that. One thing though, with this fan ownership share scheme, let's call it that, it might be more difficult to move out of places like the AJ Bell, or even move out of Salford. So we're having fun again with the St Georgia Illawarra. Mystery continues as surrounding the decision of the two Dragons players to refuse to sign a sworn statement regarding the now infamous barbecue held at Dumpstar Paul Vaughan's house. ARLC chief Peter Vlanders on Monday night urged the duo, Zach Lomax on the left and Daniel Alvaro on the right, to join the 10 other of their teammates in signing the statement which detailed what happened at the barbecue. The party breached the NRL's level 4 restrictions and the stay-at-home orders enforced by Greater Sydney, and saw Vaughan's contract ripped up, as well as 11 players receiving suspensions, all 11 players. But by refusing to sign, Lomax and Alvaro put their playing futures in jeopardy, given the remainder of the club will on Wednesday travel to Queensland as part of the game's COVID-19 bubble response. Fox League reporter James Hooper, not usually the most prolific in getting his predictions correct, said it was still unclear why the pair would not sign off on the statement. He told NRL 360, "We can't get any straight answers. I spoke to Dragons CEO Ryan Webb just before we came on air, and he said they sought independent legal advice. My understanding is David Alvaro decided not to do this on his own volition." Lomax then followed suit. "The optics of it don't look good. They look as though there's more to whatever the hell happened at the barbecue. Were there more people there? Were there other people we don't know about? I know the integrity unit have done as much as they can in terms of looking into it, but from the outside point of view, something does not add up." Paul Kent said there are various conspiracy theories around. You can go through them all, but all the innuendo about why they didn't sign. It's just amazing. It's crazy what's going on there. No one knows. It'll probably come out at some point, but right now, it's early days. Hooper then replied, "The Dragon boss earlier was trying to suggest it was COVID related, that if somehow an issue arose out of that and the players were found to be implicated, that they could somehow be liable. But I was just not buying that." He went on, "They're paying a big penalty because it might only be one match they're suspended, but because of the quarantines, they have to endure once moving to Queensland to join the bubble. They could miss 3 to 4 games on the pop." And that's probably more to do with it, as they're going to miss other fees that come involved. I hope they're not anti-vaxxers or anything like that, or COVID deniers, as there's been too much death in the world for that. The judgment is a little bit out of skew because of all this situation, by having this entire situation. But it's a weird one. It is a weird one. They need to get further into this, as ARLC boss Peter Vlandis says the pair would not be able to travel and play with the team unless they signed on the dotted line. We're looking at it, it's only the 2 players that you mentioned that have not signed the statement. They required to spend 14 days in quarantine if they do go to Queensland. I urge them to sign the document so that they can be with the rest of the players to go to Queensland. Otherwise, they will be out for at least 2 weeks. So the ball's back on the 2 gentlemen over my right shoulder's court. Earlier in the week, the Super League came out with a mandate in regards to clubs being warned by the RFL that potential point deductions could occur if they call off matches in an attempt to gain an unfair advantage. 12 games have been postponed so far in 2021, with 2 games called off on Sunday under COVID protocols. The Rugby Football League's Chief Regulator Officer, Karen Morehouse, said that there would be significant sanctions if the club were attempting to gain an advantage. Clearly not fulfilling a match is a breach of operational rules, Morehouse said. If there was any suggestion that they could have done that to gain any sort of advantage, there could be significant sanctions imposed. The range of sanctions by an operations ruling tribunal range from a fine, but also include a deduction of points as an extreme example. This idea that a club would deliberately pick and choose which matches to play is just not the case. There would be significant complaint sanctions if anyone tried to go down that route. So this statement came off the back of so many games being called off, as I mentioned, but it got worse for the Rugby Football League as Hull versus Hull FC, Hull KR versus Hull FC was called off for the 2nd time this season. The Craven Park game will be rearranged, hopefully, because it's one of the biggest spectacles in the that side of the Pennines. But we need to get clarification, as no official statement has come out from RFL. It has been reported, though, that 7 of their top 25 squad members, players that are paid in the salary cap, have been ruled out through COVID-related issues. As I said, no official word has come out from the RFL what's going to happen, but I do feel it's getting closer and closer towards a win percentage season-ending table. Hopefully, the teams that are not in the playoffs at the moment accept it, as they did last season. As Super League, I keep saying, should have had the break during the international weekend and bubbled everyone. So that's it for another video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I did say thank you in yesterday's video, but I hope you understand that I do thank you for every video that you watch. Please remember, share the video. To grow the channel, I need you. I can only do so much. I know I'm giving you all the information that you need. So help us grow this rugby league family. In the meantime, thank you so much once more. All the best, and I'll catch you in the next video.